just saw your comment in the YouTube chat. Jeez, what's happening? It's my internet, everybody. It hasn't been the same since whatever happened a couple nights ago with the drone attack. I don't know what it was. But no, we're still gonna wait. I think it loaded. Did it load? Did it? It did! It did! We're live on YouTube, everybody! Yay, we won! We won over my stupid internet. This is people in Odessa 47 minutes ago. Yay! Please go to YouTube if you are not there already. It launched. We have won over the drones. So this is what's happening in Odessa. This is from 47 minutes ago. And once again, this is the second day in a row. Yesterday, there were fewer people. There were, I think, like, maybe max, like 100 people. Right now, you can see there's significantly more. They're all with these cardboards. Because if there's anything any Ukrainian has at home is a cardboard on which you can... Yay. Yeah, thank you, Zoe, for letting me know. I just saw... if there's anything every single Ukrainian person has is a piece of cardboard, a box, which you can turn into emergency sign to protest against the government. I can see on this one, it says basically treason. It also means betrayal, but in this context, it means treason, zrada. And there's a lot of, these are not good words. Have you lost your mind? It's written on someone else's. This is a beautiful expression, basically meaning someone is peeing you in the eye and telling you it's like it's the morning dew. Basically meaning someone is lying to, someone is gaslighting you. So let me show you more. This is Kharkiv from an hour ago. Again, we have Hanьба, which is also a very famous Ukrainian protest word, basically shame. Shame, you know how in the Game of Thrones they used to do this, these walks of shame? Yeah, that's similar to that. So that's people in Kharkiv. This is a direct address to Zelensky. Yeah, there's been a lot of those. We've seen a lot of those happening. So this was in Kharkiv. I think, is this Kiev? It's a baby girl. Oh my god. So many people were just so devastated by the fact that a lot of the people have been drawing parallels to the 2013, 2014 when it was happening under Yanukovych, and people saying that, okay, we did all of this back then so that our children wouldn't have to do this once again. And now our children have to literally be out and about protesting because it's the same madness. So yeah, this sign right here says that this law that they signed, that this is direct pathway to Russia, which it is, because this is a very famous place, so that refuses to fight corruption. And also, interestingly enough, Putin, in one of his speeches months ago, Putin, President of Russia, those of you who do not remember who that is, he also directly attacked our anti-corruption agencies in one of his speeches before. I know. Interesting irony here, right? I think this is Kiev. This is Rivne, this is people in Rivne, this is in western Ukraine, this is the region next to mine. This is Kiev from half an hour ago. People saying we're not Mordor here meaning Russia. Everything that was built for 10 years was ruined in one day, meaning that all of this anti-corruption agencies, all of these bureaus, all of this infrastructure, it has taken such a long time to build, right? It has taken a decade, right? So ever since the Revolution of Dignity, all of these bureaus have been gradually built and created. And they, don't get me wrong, they're all incredibly flawed, right? Could be so much more could be done to improve them, but they were the best we had. And and they were independent and they were showing results, just, not as great of results, perhaps, but yeah. Do you think we're idiots? Yeah, I'm afraid they do. I'm afraid they do think we're idiots. This one says, do not steal my future. And yeah, it's mostly, you can see that a lot of these people, it's the youth, but also there's a lot of veterans there. In fact, the very first protest from yesterday was organized by a veteran of the Da Vinci Wolves battalion. So you can see, there is. And there was there was this great outpouring of support from the military, from the people who follow especially the ones who are, more politically active, proactive. Immediately from the government, there were accusations of the protests being paid for, which again, who does that remind us of? And as a response to that, you can see this lady over here sitting with her little cardboard, and it says basically that she is a student who was paid, because one of the main accusations is that all of these people are, they're idiots, they're teenagers, they're young, they're stupid, they're getting paid to be there. And so this elderly lady over there with her little placard that says, yeah, I'm a paid student. Well, of course she's not. So yeah, there's going to be more of that, I believe, in the upcoming hours, because the majority of the protests have been scheduled to start at 8, which was 8 p.m. was 20 minutes ago here. So, and interestingly, we've already had a possible concession, right? So Zelensky has already said that he will propose another bill to parliament. I think I've read it. Yeah, it was reported by the official media sources that he's basically gonna offer an equivalent, right, an alternative to this. So no one is buying this, by the way, just FYI. But basically, a law that will enable all of these agencies to. He didn't say the agencies, but the law that will allow, for the right order to be restored, the lawful order to be restored, and in which all of the independent anti-corruption institutions' right will be protected. No one is believing this. This was clearly a reaction to the protests. Damage control. They are in a big damage control mode. There was a lot of very concerned statements today coming out of different politicians. A lot of very, I would say, triggered statements coming from the different politicians from his fraction, from the Sluga Narodu. That's his party. People close to him, people close to Zelensky. This is Lviv about 13 minutes ago. So yeah, people are gathering the same place as yesterday. It's the center of Lviv, as you can see. Let me see what you guys are saying. Do we have anyone watching on YouTube? Because everything I'm showing is on. Yeah, we have people. We have 23 people. Sorry, guys. I got carried away. Let me see what you're saying. Hi, hello, everybody. Sorry, I got distracted. Yeah, you're right on time. Because YouTube took forever to launch, so... did they give a reason why they made this change? The Russian influence. Of course, because these days everything is Russian influence, right? If you don't like something, you just blame it on the Russian influence, and this is it. This was the main reason. Inefficiency of these bureaus and these agencies was another reason. It's all stupid. It's all made up excuses. Everybody understands that. It means nothing. And, yeah. I know. So not only is this... it's devastating for our democracy. It's absolutely devastating for any prospects of accession to the EU. And the reaction from the European Union has been very, very strict and very emotional and very rapid. And Ursula von der Leyen, so the president of the European Commission, already called Zelensky. She's like, what are you doing? Yeah, like he's gonna tell you. I know. Wait, what's happening? No, come on. Oh, Christ. No, I'm not gonna, no. Anyway, so, we're gonna get to, actually, I've already had some of the reactions bookmarked. Let me see. Let me see where that was. So there was a statement from Ursula von der Leyen, and immediately I think France already reacted very strictly. There were already statements saying that you have just sabotaged and undermined your own EU acceptance, and what are you doing? There were already talks about the aid possibly being cut in the light of this. So God only knows what kind of measures we could potentially face for this, but the most fundamental, the most horrifying thing is the fact that this puts a massive question mark on our future as the, country within the European Union, possibly, hopefully, potentially, which we were all dreaming and hoping for. And there is no other future for us. There is no third alternative for us. We're either a European Union country, we're either a democratic Western country, or we are Russia. This is it. There is nothing else. There is no third unique way. There's whatever it is that these people are imagining themselves. I loved this. So out of our politicians, our parliamentaries who voted for this law to liquidate the independence of the anti-corruption institution, 17 are actually under investigation by these anti-corruption institutions. 17. Yeah, and of course they were allowed to vote, because why not, right? They were allowed to vote. I absolutely love this image of Ursula von der Leyen with a knife. And I imagine this is her calling Zelensky. Hello, Tim. Hi. Putin is absolutely satisfied because he hated, thank you, Zoe, he hated our anti-corruption agencies, I think, more than most people, which is one of the reasons why it's so deeply infuriating. There are many reasons why this is deeply infuriating, but this is, I think, one of the key ones. Have I answered all the questions? Was there any indication that this would happen? Remember how last time we talked about the measures that they have taken against Vitaly Shabunin? I talked about this during the last stream. I think we did, it was like about 10 minutes we even spoke about this, the longest I've ever talked about this. But he is basically our main anti-corruption guy, right? The face of the anti-corruption movement in Ukraine. And there were all of these attacks, clearly politically motivated, against him last week. And we talked about how, this is not good. How they're basically out in the open. The government is basically they're not even hiding that it wasn't actually motivated by anything. Of course, there were some, reasons that they came up with, seemingly, but everybody understood that this is just persecution and this is an attempt to silence someone who is doing these very important anti-corruption investigation. So this was, I think, what preceded this. But before that, this is not the first time, unfortunately. There were all of these very disturbing signals. And to those of you who are on Patreon and have been watching my videos, I've been quietly moaning and complaining about this for a while. I think for years, honestly, at this point. This was the statement from France saying that, basically asking on our government, hi Mihaela, thank you, and our government to review this law and saying that it's not too late to fix everything. But there is a fun part about this. Right after our government voted for this law, they immediately went on a little vacation, and they will be on their little vacation for 4 weeks. They took a 4-week break. How interesting, right? How convenient. How convenient is that? Reminds me of someone else who voted for something that has to do with something and also went on a little break. Americans, if you know, you know. Yeah. Let's see what's happening, because there's going to be a lot of updates. A lot of people are out protesting right now at this very moment. Yeah, basically in the EU, in the European Union, the conversations are about how this is a massive turn towards the Yanukovych era Ukraine. And we all remember what Yanukovych was, who he was. Oh, hi, Kristen. Hello. Good to see you. He's doing that because he doesn't trust the anti-corruption agency. Well, it's still, this is not the way to do it, right? He cannot possibly not trust all of them. It's not just one anti-corruption agency. It's already 3. And it's different people. And yeah, different journalists too. So, oh my god. Yeah, I know, it's insane. We're so similar. Aw. We're twinning! We're twinning with the US Congress. Ah, I know. Right, someone voted to hide pedos, someone voted to protect corruption. Yeah, I know. Besties! how does any country deal with corruption within an anti-corruption agency? That's actually a very good question. In this particular case, however, it's not. This is what they claim the problem is, right? That there is this. But I think we've already heard different versions. They said that, first of all, there is corruption within the anti-corruption agency. Yes, then they said there is Russian agency, the Russian influence and Russian leaks and Russian infiltration. But this is, I think, one of the most crucial things at this point is that no one really believes this anymore, right? And this says so much about the lack of trust within the society, and this says so much like how dramatic was the fall from the absolute level of trust that they had in 2022 to right now, that even if there is some truth to that, no one believes this. The society doesn't believe it anymore because there were too many instances when everything was jeopardized on purpose. The scandals I cannot even, I don't have enough, fingers on both of my hands to count how many scandals we've had, how many horrible instances we've had, and all these news breaking down throughout the years. And people were still kind of trying, to trust and continue, because you have to keep this trust because you have this terrifying enemy at your border, right? Well, not at your border, within your country already. You are at war. So what exactly do you do? How do you do both? You're supposed to be united, but at the same time, you also understand the massive threat that this inaction presents. So, it's been a whirlwind of last several years. But yeah, this is ultimately what it boils down to. It's the lack of trust. And this is, I think, one of the most devastating things. All right, let's see what else is happening. This is from yesterday. Let's see if there is any new updates. Yeah, people show this. It's the same lady that I already showed you guys who says that she's a paid student. Obviously, she's not a paid student. This seems like such a stupid move while still fighting for Western support and trying to join the EU. Oh, I know. It's not just... It's to the point where people are genuinely beginning to discuss whether or not it's done on purpose to hurt the country. Right, so all of the speculations that are currently happening within the civil society and the media, the distrust, it's been awful. It's been awful to see it. Because it was all, sort of gradually building up, and now we're at the point where it exploded. People were closing their eyes on so many things, understanding that we're in such a dire situation, we cannot afford to not be united, right? We cannot afford to show any division, and now this, and now it just all blew into our faces, pretty much. Okay. Lutsk is also out and about. Well, that's beautiful. That's the main city of my region. It's about an hour away from me. Also, mostly young people showing up, as always. Young people being the most active and pushing for a change within the society. Let's see. Moldova is set to join the EU. Hopefully you guys will. Let's see. Okay, no, I don't think I missed anything. Let's see what else is happening. So yeah, it's just been extremely disheartening, devastating. Okay, so this is Kyiv from 16 minutes ago. It's the same square as yesterday. Yesterday, I think the scariest moment was at around 11 p.m. So we still have some time until that, because this is when the curfew hits, right? Because we have this, because of the martial law, we have the curfew, after which people are not allowed to be out and about without a reason, pretty much. And so a lot of people were worried, like, what's going to happen after the curfew? If the protesters are going to stay, well, what could possibly happen? So all of these horrifying rumors, but no, everyone left. It was actually agreed upon. No one wants to break the law. So everyone behaves, which... So we're not still at the most devastating, dramatic stage. Hopefully we will not get to this. Nobody wants this. Nobody wants this division. They just want to be heard. People just want to be heard, and they feel like they're being ignored. Because remember how we discussed that Zelensky almost every single day not almost, every single day, he does his little video message, right? This is him. To those of you who are on YouTube, you currently see him. This is him and his little t-shirt in his office. So every single day we get a little speech, right? A little vlog, a little whatever. And it's usually around 8 to 9 p.m. We were even making jokes during one of the previous streams about how I'm always live when Zelensky posts his little vlog in the evening. And yesterday, do you see? So this is 16:59. Do you see how late it was posted? Yeah, I know. There was this huge silence, and it was louder than all words. People were out protesting. There was this just explosive reaction everywhere within the civil society, people out in the streets. All of the reactions started coming in from the West, from the Europeans, being just shocked and horrified and what are you doing? And yeah, just nothing. And then he emerges, and yeah, he tries to do something, basically saying that everything's gonna be fine, we will defeat the Russian influence, and and we will move on. And everyone's like, ugh, what are you even doing? So it was awful. The entire damage control operation was done so poorly. It's fascinating to see, honestly. The crowd in Kyiv still mostly young, but there are significant numbers of middle-aged and older Ukrainians tonight. That's new. Yesterday, I don't think there were many middle-aged Ukrainians out and about. Hundreds still streaming up the hill towards the protest. Okay, that's good. Just came from there about 20 minutes ago. It already appears much bigger. White House briefing. No. Jump scare. No. Please, no White House briefing. All right, let's see. No, this is still this. These are old. These are old posts. I know, it's absolutely heartbreaking. It's devastating. It's disheartening. Nobody understands why. And when you do not understand why, and when you do not have trust in what's happening, you can imagine all kinds of speculations begin, which is even worse. So it just starts to unravel. Comparisons to Yanukovych has been everywhere, because to a lot of us who remember what it's been like back in 2013, 2014, will remember that this is how it all started, when Yanukovych refused to sign the association with the European Union, and students went out to protest, and the rest is history. But back then, the situation was nowhere near as dire, and still we lost territories, and still it was used as an excuse for the Russian aggression against the country, and it followed in the annexation of Crimea and the beginning of the war in Donbass. Now, with the full-scale invasion, with the Russian advancement and the gradual crumbling that we're seeing at the front, no, we don't need that. It has to be handled. It has to be handled at their very best by the government. There has to be clear communication and not gaslighting and excuses that they're giving us right now. So, oh boy. And this is, by the way, this clip from Putin that I just mentioned to you guys. Sorry, Putin jump scare everybody.
Посольство США напрямую контролирует Национальное агентство по предотвращению коррупции, Национальное антикоррупционное бюро, специализированную антикоррупционную прокуратуру и Высший антикоррупционный суд. Делается все это под благовидным предлогом для повышения эффективности борьбы с коррупцией. Ну хорошо.
I'll translate it for you in a second. So what Putin says here in this little clip from some time ago is basically that the US Embassy controls all of these anti-corruption agencies in Ukraine. First, why do you... Okay, no. Let me translate first. The US Embassy controls all of these agencies, so they're puppet agencies, and they're not even showing any results, says Putin, the great critic and the proponent, I guess, of the more efficient measures to fight corruption. Ridiculous, right? So this clip, of course, immediately emerged, because you can understand why, I think, and it's just awful. This is what happens. This is unfortunately what happens when it's handled this way. This is Marjorie Taylor Greene commented, everybody. I don't know if you have seen. I have the same reaction when I see the White House. Yeah, unfortunately, these days we have to avoid the White House briefings, just for our own collective sanity. So Marjorie Taylor Greene, you guys had a lot of things to say. Huge protests erupt in Kiev against Ukrainian President Zelensky as he is a dictator and refuses to make a peace deal and end this war. So completely twists the truth, as she often does. Marge is in her own world as always, and yeah, basically she openly calls for a coup. Which is funny because these people usually tend to accuse us of, committing a coup back in 2014. But yeah, now they're actually calling on for a coup. But this is not what's happening. So it's really sad to see that almost 3 million people saw this nonsense. It's not about overthrowing the government. It's not... It's not about that at all, and it's not even about the peace deal. It's about the lack of communication between and lack of trust, and people just being pissed off with everything that's been happening for a while. So what do you know? Marjorie Taylor Greene has no idea what she's talking about, huh? And of course she ends on the beautiful, and America must stop funding and sending weapons, because what else would Marjorie Taylor Greene say? You guys. I hate that Cuomo is trending all the way across the... Yeah, unfortunately, as you can see, Cuomo, Lithuania, and Telegram for some reason. Yeah, that's globalism for you guys. That's globalization of the world politics. Okay, let's... What did I miss? What did I miss? Can foreigners leave Ukraine via the Ukrainian-Russian border in the direction of Russia? No, you can't. You cannot, I'm afraid. Why would you want to do that? If you want to go to Russia, you can just go to Russia, There was just news from this American family that moved all the way to Russia, and then, surprise, surprise, dad got mobilized and sent to a front, and apparently he was already killed. So, but also, jokes aside, also, you can just move there if you want. I don't know why you would do that, but yeah, that's what we're discussing right now. The anti-corruption agencies pretty much being stripped of their independence. Aren't such gatherings an inviting target for the Russians? Russians have been super quiet. They are celebrating the mistakes that this government is making. There was not, yesterday, not a strike, not an air raid alert. They want all of the attention. Well, not in Kiev. It was another, I think in Kharkiv there was, of course, and eastern regions, as always, under fire. But the Russians want all of the attention and all of the negativity being sent towards the government because of course they do. There was also reaction from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Netherlands saying that the anti-corruption institutions are of life importance for Ukraine. I agree 100%, of course. Everybody with a brain understands this. That this is vital. I think people should just wait. They also panicked when Zelensky fired General Zaluzhny. Yeah, it was one of the worst things. The reason people panicked was because the soldiers were devastated. When the reaction started pouring in from the front lines of so many people being just horrified at this is why everyone was panicking. And yeah, okay, no, I'm not going to talk about that because this is not my place. I'm a civilian. Margarine Taylor-Greene. Yeah, I like this. Help, I'm Canadian, says Minnie. I think you don't need any help, Minnie. I think it's a good thing to be, Canadian. Alright, wait, let's see. I even had the news of this family of Americans who moved all the way to Russia, and then the dad got sent. Okay, no, everything is covered in the anti-corruption news. I think I lost it, but yeah, that was a pretty massive case that everyone has been discussing. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Another reaction that we had was from Sweden, of course. So this is the Swedish embassy in Europe. By the way, one of the biggest proponents of Ukraine joining the European Union. Very high support for this among the Swedes. So they're basically saying that the law adopted yesterday by Ukraine's parliament raises serious concerns about the independence of Ukraine's anti-corruption institutions. Ukraine has made important progress fighting corruption in the past decade. Staying the course is essential. Duh, again, of course. Anyone who really cares about Ukraine understands this. So this is one of the reasons why so many questions seem to arise in regarding to the decisions that were made. Immediately, of course, there are all of the speculations when we start asking why, right? When we start asking why is this happening, everybody immediately remembers the case of Chernyshov from a couple of weeks ago, and basically there are all of these suggestions from the experts and the journalists and the anti-corruption investigators that perhaps the Anti-Corruption Bureau has gotten too close to some of the most important people in the country, and obviously no one was going to let these investigations go any further, because in the past Zelensky has already he's been very vocal about, him being a staunching defender of some of the worst people imaginable. So this is another opinion that exists, and this is, I'm showing you this article, but I've seen this from various angles and various people, which again, it's just the very fact that it exists, that this rhetoric could be, that there is space and place for such a rhetoric at such times. It's devastating. It's it's just so unprofessional too, on top of everything, on top of being harmful. It's also extremely unprofessional. This is the second article out of Kyiv Independent in 2 weeks. Last week they warned about this anti-democratic backslide. Now they're saying we see it happening. A parliamentary vote led by Zelensky lawmakers today took away the independence of Ukraine's key anti-corruption bodies. Christ. So, yeah. Okay, let's go back to the protest. Let's see if we have any more footage from the protests coming out. Okay, this is 16 minutes ago. Office of President Zelensky. The people of Ukraine demand Zelensky to return back independence of the Nabu and SUP. Let's see, from the very beginning. That's way more people than yesterday. Wow. Are you seeing this? That's right across from the presidential office. Oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, I've seen this film before. No. Yeah, everybody. I know. Before you even say anything, I know. Let me just see how many people. And I think they keep arriving. Wow. That's a lot of people. Well, this is also Odessa, with more people arriving. And the person who posted this, I believe he's a veteran, and he was one of the first arrivers yesterday, and there were a lot of people being all, smug and insufferable, as people tend to be. Thank you. I mean, why so few people in Odessa yesterday when it was couple dozen people? And he is posting today saying, who said that there was not enough people from Odessa protesting? Because there you go, even Odessa is showing up. This is Poltava, also mainly young people. But yeah, there's definitely more people today than yesterday. Because yesterday, of course, it was very spontaneous. Up until the last moment, a lot of people were not believing that they would actually vote for this law, and then when they voted, a lot of people were hoping that he would veto it, but then one of the parliamentaries leaked the fact that Zelensky has already signed it, and then people, of course, started taking it to the streets. This is Zaporizhzhia! Oh my god, under constant shellings, literally on the front line, where there is a threat of all kinds of different attacks, and people are still showing up. Now, this is where it's a huge risk. Jesus. Oh, my poor country. Боже, за що нам це? Oh, okay. I know. What's the protest of our government voting to strip the independence from the anti-corruption agencies yesterday? It's the second day of protest. By the way, I completely forgot. What's the air raid alert map says? Okay, it's quiet. Yeah, the Russians are watching, everybody. They're watching. Дуже дякую, пані. Дякую, що вам сподобалося. Дуже приємно. Yeah, I think a lot of people are jealous of Canada. Hi, Feisty. Good to see you. I thought the presidential administration was not accessible to general public. I am not entirely sure. I've heard conflicting statements regarding that. I've heard that some parts of it are not, and that's so basically like some areas are blocked off. But this is them not actually in there, right? It's them in front. If you mean the video, where was it? I think it's the closest you can get, basically. Wait, let's see. Can we see? Yeah, so you can see from here. It seems like this part of the street is closed off, so perhaps parts of it are. I haven't been to Kiev since a very long time ago, so I'm not entirely sure what's happening over there. I've been reading Russians today, the Russian propaganda channels. They were like, yeah, everything is shut off, and if they try to cross the line, they're dead because Zelensky is gonna murder them and he's gonna drink their blood. Of course, what else would they say? Thank you. Okay, this was Poltava, this was Zaporizhia, this is also Zaporizhia, everybody, from about an hour ago. A lot of obscenities on people's placard. Everyone is really angry, especially in Zaporizhia. Oh my god, I can imagine. Where every single day your life is on the line, pretty much, and then the government pulls off stuff like this. At the same time, I think it makes you sort of hopeful in a weird way, because I was worried that, we have completely fallen into the state of great passivity, because for the last couple of years I've been observing this and the society just swallowing one thing after another. And I was worried that, this is it, that this is how it's gonna end, but no, we still got it. We still got it, everybody. Wait, this is more footage from Kiev, right? Yep, that's more footage from Kiev. I think there's gonna be more. We're gonna see more stuff like this. We'll see. Someone's asking in the comments, what are we gonna call this revolution? Is it gonna be the cardboard revolution? No. We just need communication, and we need an actual response, and we need measures taken against this. Wait, what does it say? But yeah, just a lot of anti-corruption statements. How are we going to win in the war if we're losing, basically, honesty, it says, if we're losing integrity. Veto. Oh, there's a dog. So, yeah. Okay, let me just scroll back. And see. Again, Lviv. The news say that Zelensky proposed a new bill. Yeah, everyone is still concerned about that because no one understands. Well, the reaction for now, at least, is that this is just like a bone being thrown to the dogs. This is what it looks like. It feels like damage control. There's no explanation to why, and how exactly is it going to be implemented. And I think the most concerning, the most crucial thing here is the reaction from the European partners that everyone is monitoring. And none of them are saying that, yeah, okay, this alternative thing that Zelensky just offered, actually that works for us, let's do that. No. So far the reaction is of shock, concern, anger, and confusion from the European countries. Okay, yeah, I can definitely do that. Let me see how the air raid alert website. I think I can just post it in the YouTube chat. Let me just open it on here. Haha, I can do things. There we go. Okay, you got it, you guys. If you would like this one, if you would like this website. This one's my favorite. There are more of these. I think we have like 100 of these, but this is the one that I use most of the times. It's been proven to be quite solid, quite a solid option. So yeah, it's in the chat. If you're interested in seeing this particular one, good to see you too. Hope you're doing well. According to the Russians, everyone is a vampire. But you told me... Wait, you told me what, Damien? I don't remember. I'm not entirely sure what it is that you have told me, because I have had so many things said to me by so many different people over the years. Okay, no, this is the latest. This is us watching Lviv. Oh my god, no, not a murder from St. Petersburg. No, I don't want any graphic footage. This is also Lviv. Well, people... Yeah, this is the numbers that you're seeing. It's the number of this law that was passed. Money has to be at the front, not in the pocket. Very common sentiment in the society. Money for the army. So, yeah, I mean, everything is pretty clear. The sentiment of the people is pretty obvious. It's what he signed is the law basically dismantling the independence of the anti-corruption agencies in Ukraine, and it puts them under direct control of the state prosecutor, and ultimately under direct control of the presidential office, that's everyone's concern. So they're no longer independent, and that's like the whole thing. That's the whole point. 3 times, wow, compared to yesterday. That's insane. Yeah, something has to be done immediately. Damage control is not enough. There has to be something stronger than that. Oh my god, come on. I have talked about this so many times. I think I've been so critical of him. Do you think I'm a fan of his? Because I once said that it's a good thing that he did a Vogue interview, or... Or is it because I kept saying how it's important to stay united? Because it is. Because do you understand how dangerous such thing is, unfortunately, under the given circumstances? Come on now. Let's not play silly here. The reason is the Russian influence, as always. This is their main reason for everything. So, wait, did I have an article with this? There were some very controversial searches, and don't get me wrong, and a lot of the people who are currently protesting, they're also being very vocal about the fact that everyone is really critical of the work of those agencies as well. In fact, I think in the recent years, they have been perceived as kind of more or less useless, because, you know, of how big the scale of the problem is and how meager the measures that they have been taken seemed, but at the same time, everybody still understands how important they are. So this is also something that you have to keep in mind here. So there were some searches, very, very questionable, with some of the anti-corruption agency people reporting that they were even injured in the process, and that medics refused to look at them, which is... It was also extra concerning. Not sure if we can actually believe it, but... what is this? We've already talked about that. Of course, the courts. Суд визнав обґрунтованість. Вже ж він визнав. This was the reaction of Germany. I think this was the first reaction that we have received. It was yesterday, almost immediately. The independence and strength of Ukraine's anti-corruption institutions have been key to reform efforts of recent years. Yeah, whatever was achieved thanks to them. I had an article somewhere. This is, by the way, some of you were asking last time about our new Prime Minister, Sviridenko. This was her statement yesterday. It was before they voted for that law, but basically her quote was, Sviridenko on corruption in Ukraine, this problem is exaggerated. She was lucky that right after that they voted on that damn thing, because otherwise the backlash to her would have been much more furious. All of the fury that you're seeing being unleashed right now, it would have been on her. Because the people were so angry. But then, the parliament quickly protected her and covered her up like the Superman with the little squirrel and the dog and, the rest of them that he was protecting in the new movie. All right. No, I cannot find this. I had this very good article somewhere with some of the key results of the work of the Anti-Corruption Committee, but I cannot find it. Okay. Oh, wait, do I have it? Oh, it was a post. Okay, this is why I didn't see it. It was just a list of some of the things that they have uncovered. Right, so for instance, head of the Supreme Court in 2023, a bribe of $2.7 million, the case is in court, accusations ongoing, former head of the State Property Fund, money laundering, the arrest and investigation completed. So, right, and it keeps going, So, although you can see that a lot was done. All of this is a list of things and all these different cases that these anti-corruption agencies have been handling. So you cannot exactly say that they're useless. It's just that it seems like a drop in the ocean because of how vast the issue is and because of how necessary more fundamental things were, fundamental reforms, the change with like we talked before. How many times have I mentioned the judicial reform, right? That nothing could potentially move anywhere without the judicial reform. Thank you. So, yeah. Oh, all right. Okay, what else haven't we covered? I'm just worried about the situation unraveling, honestly. Oh, we have, on a much, I guess, slightly optimistic note, more fun note. I love this account. It's called Regionality, and they're basically... Thank you. They're basically posting the news, fun news from different regions of Ukraine, and this particular one says that in Frankivsk, homeless people have taken over a bomb shelter and are threatening everyone who tries to approach it. All right. Okay. Okay, this is actually kind of sad because Ivano-Frankivsk has been under fire recently with the recent drone strikes, but... Yeah, there's been some anarchy with the homeless people. This is Odessa, everybody. They're saying corruption kills. Коррупция вбивает. In Ukrainian, mind you. And this is Odessa, which is a predominantly Russian-speaking city. So they're making sure they're heard. Hate the zakon. Away with this law, basically. Cancel this law. Alright, sorry. Let me see. What is everyone saying? We're just gonna keep the people from Odessa marching in the background while I'm looking at the chat. I don't think I miss anything. Good to see you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. I know, we do not worship politicians. I think this is one of the cool things about us as a collective, and I think a lot of you agree with me. And we have established this in the past, that we do not idolize any politicians, and in fact, I believe that this is a responsibility of the society to keep the politicians in check, because who else? Who else is going to do that? They're not going to do that, so... Okay, good. It's been quiet, right? So we can continue with the... Hi, Nick. Good to see you. we can continue with the protests. Now, the main hope and the main prayer here is that they back down, they back away, they cancel this, or they offer a viable alternative that is actually going to work. Because for now, it's just talk. It's just blah, blah, blah. Okay, we also had a statement from the Czech Republic that the support for Ukraine is not a carte blanche for any actions of the government, which was also one of the concerns. It was one of the big concerns here because a lot of the people are worried that this is exactly how it's being read, pretty much with our government believing that, you know, in the light of what Ukraine is currently doing and how important this is for the security and defense of Europe, that some of the players in our government now believe that because of that, they can do whatever they want because they're so important. First of all, it's not you who is important, meaning our government. It's the people who are fighting that are important, okay? And also, yeah, this statement, this particular statement from the Czech foreign minister sends a very clear message, right? This is not a carte blanche for being an a-hole. So, TikTok wants to kick me out, as always. Oh my god, TikTok, stop doing that. Why are you like this? I'm tired, Grandpa. I am tired of this nonsense. Немає сечі терпіти ці пекельні борошна. Unfortunately, I won't be able to explain this pun. But sometimes, so it's one of the Ukrainian memes that comes from whenever there are Russian bots trying to attempt with the disinformation campaigns on the social media. They, of course, don't speak Ukrainian, so they use automatic translation, right? They use Google Translate. And sometimes because of that, there are very funny mistranslations based on which you can immediately tell that this was a Russian who wrote it and then ran it through a translator and is now trying to pass it off as, you know, being a genuinely concerned Ukrainian citizen. And so we have a statement from Shabunin. We're going to look at it in a second. This particular one, it's Nema Sechi. So the original Russian is like, what is it? Нет мочи. Нет мочи. So moch in Russian is capability. But if you try and translate it into Ukrainian, it translates it as mocha, which is piss. And and when in Russian you're trying to say, like, you cannot do this anymore, and then you try to automatically translate the sentence, I cannot do it anymore, into Ukrainian, it basically translates it as, I do not have enough piss in me anymore. And so this sentence that was used by one of the bots, I think a couple of years ago, it became a meme on Ukrainian social media. That's, by the way, this is to everyone who said, oh, Ukrainian and Russian are the same languages. Yeah, no. Немає сечі терпіти ці пекельні борошна. Anyway, so this is Shabunin. We just talked about him, right? The head of the Center Against Corruption. Let me translate this. No, okay, this is very bad translation. We're going back, everybody. But yeah, this was his statement regarding this. This very harsh statement. And also, it's interesting that these anti-corruption agencies, anti-corruption organizations that our government is now accusing of all of these wrongdoings, they have been so extra careful. Shabunin with his Center Against Corruption, they have made it a point to first bring these cases to the government officials, right? Whenever there would be some concerns about the corruption within the Ministry of Defense, for instance, they would always bring it up with the government first, with the Ministry of Defense first, hoping that there would be some internal change. So they have been acting, I think, in the most incredible, politically correct way, and considering how sensitive the times that we're in. This has changed. This has changed in the last couple of weeks. So here he's saying that, this is a quote from Shabunin, that Zelensky, trying to save his friends from prison, killed not only anti-corruption agency, he also killed our acceptance into the European Union, our EU accession, that was paid for with the blood of the best people among us, which is 100% true. This is exactly what it is. Anyway, this is his statement. Someone is pointing out that he hasn't seen this many people on a protest, and I think this is a soldier. I think he's currently somewhere at the front, but I'm not sure. But yeah, Odessa has showed up at incredible rates. This is extremely impressive and very important. At the same time, this is Lutsk. This is Lutsk also protesting. This is center of Lutsk in our region. Volyn represent. No, I don't believe they do. I do not believe they have. I don't believe they're paid for. I do not believe these people have been trained or coached by anybody. So. Wait, did my voice disappear? Hopefully it's back now. Oi, oi, oi. Oi, 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 oi. And it's just, this nonsense is extra awful. So just yesterday, we had this information. By the way, this is Kyiv, everybody. We're looking at Kyiv right now. We had all of the horror coming out of Pokrovsk at the front with the Russians infiltrating the city. There was this awful video of our soldiers getting basically trapped and some of them massacred. And this is what should be the center of the attention. But because of these actions by our government, all of our attention, unfortunately, is on this. Just another devastating layer to the situation. But yeah, so this is Kyiv about, 30 minutes ago. Oh well. Oh, finally we have more creative posters. Good to see you too. Hello. Yeah, so I think this is something that has overshadowed everything else that's been happening, understandably so, because of how important this is, because of the implications of it all, because of the consequences. Oh my god. And also because, again, as I just told you, this is something that has been ongoing, this is something that has been building up towards for a very long time. This is one of the reasons why it's so big and why everyone is so emotional and why everyone is taking this so close to heart, because it's not like, oh, everything was perfect. And then immediately people were just kind of woke up and were like, oh, you know what, we're just going to go out and protest. No, there's been a build-up. It's a result of, unfortunately, something that has been growing and snowballing, and now we're here. So... yeah, unfortunately, I'm afraid there isn't going to be anything else to add until we see any progress, any clear communication, any alternative offered from the government, because for now, it's not enough. And also, this is all happening to the backdrop of the beginning of the third round of the talks between Ukraine and Russia in Istanbul, which is... To say that this is an awful timing is to say nothing. The fact that they have signed this law literally a day before the beginning of the next... don't even get me started on that. So yeah, but we also have the beginning of the third round of the so-called peace talks between Ukraine and the Russian delegation. Our delegation is... Who is representing? Umerov, okay. Our former defense minister, who is no longer defense minister. And the Russian delegation by Medinsky, that's the Russian former minister of culture and the guy that believes that Russians are special because they, and this is a direct quote, have an extra chromosome. Yeah, so they're gonna chat a little bit. All right, okay. Good luck with that. Do we have any high hopes? Anyone has any hopes regarding that? Anyone has any expectations? I don't think... Oh, hi, Karen. Good to see you. I don't think we do. I think no one believes that it's going to end with anything good or anything productive. It's just, yeah. I'm just already disappointed. I do not have any hopes for this. The timing is awful. The two previous rounds were pointless and useless. One thing that I'm actually hoping for perhaps is maybe another prisoner exchange. Maybe more bodies being returned from the Russians, but who knows? We'll see. Okay, this is Kyiv. This is Kharkiv, everybody. the east, this is our deep east, they're under daily shellings all the time, and they're still showing up. Get your hands off the anti-corruption agency, NABU. Yeah, it's NABU in Ukrainian. There were a lot of memes about this, about the Star Wars and how we've already seen a guy who tried to destroy NABU, meaning Palpatine. So yeah, Kharkiv also showed up, which is wonderful. I don't think I saw any footage from Kharkiv yesterday, but to be fair, right after the protest started in Kiev, in Kharkiv they had a massive air raid alert, because Kharkiv is in a very different geographic situation compared to the rest of the country, right? This is Kharkiv. You see how close this is, to those of you who have forgotten where Kharkiv is. I know, right? I know. It's all just so suspicious. Do people think... people think all kinds of things, unfortunately. So up until very recently, I think the leading logic regarding him in particular and his cronies, it was this... Unfortunately, I don't have another way to put it, but it's the good old Russian wisdom. The boyars are bad and the Tsar is good. So Tsar хороший, бояре плохие. And it was the... Okay, people in his inner circle, people in his... people who are closest to him are bad, and they're feeding him all this bad information, and he's actually, he's good. But recently, with more and more things unraveling, you can see the opinion beginning to change, and people starting to feel very differently based on the actions. But no, I don't think we've had any actual polls, and I don't think we will ever have polls measuring that. The polls regarding the trust of the people towards him personally, I do not know of how trustworthy they are. My opinion on him, you've known for a while, so... Right? It's the NABU. They destroyed NABU. Can you believe it? I know. So when rumors like this start to circulate, when people start having all of these doubts, when people start to having all these emotions, this is when it's crucial to have direct communication, when it's important. Oh my god, what is this? I'm so sorry, everybody, for what we are about to see. What the actual hell is the White House posting? They came after the wrong man, it says, and then it's another AI picture of Trump saying, I was the hunted, now I'm the hunter. I guess this is to diffuse the tension a little bit, because what? What is going on? And as the eagles and the fireworks in the background. Wow, exquisite. Will the hunter release the Epstein list by any chance? No. Oh, God. Sorry, everybody. I couldn't resist. Sorry, YouTube gang, for doing this to you. So yeah, what I was saying is basically, whenever you have these issues, whenever you have these concerns within the society, your number one priority has to be do everything in your power to nip it in the bud, to dismantle it, to just defeat it and contradict it with facts and logic, whatever. Not this. This is just making things worse. Oh, everyone is really angry. Everyone is really, really angry. Oh my god. Everybody wants decisive actions, and they want them immediately. Trump is quite a character, you guys. I know, right? Exactly. Right, Jabbar? I agree 100%. The courts is something that we need. And I've been saying this. How many times have I said this, right? That we need the judicial reform. Oh my god. Is Trump talking about the late night hosts? Oh, you wish. No, I don't. Oh my god. This entire situation with Colbert has been appalling. Appalling, to say the least. Also, the timing of it. Speaking about suspicious timing, right? Well, yeah, this was very sad to see. The chat immediately wakes up when we start bashing Trump. It's like, immediately has a lot of things to say. This is the Trump effect, I guess. Is everyone in Ukraine so political? Well, we are a very politicized nation, as you can see, based on our protests and how people take everything very personally, and people are very outspoken about their opinions. But the reason why I am this way is, yes, I have a degree in political science. I have a master's degree in the Central and East European, Russian and Eurasian Studies was my was my degree. So yeah, maybe that's why I'm this way. The Epstein files have been all over my For You page. I know, understandably so. They created this. It's their own doing. It's the MAGA's own doing. They have been talking about this, posting about this, screaming about this to all of us. How do you think I know about this? Because they told me about it. Because it was everything they could talk about. How it has all of the Democrats on it, and how Trump is going to release, and this is why the Democrats are horrified of Trump. Because literally laid their bed, just made their bed. You made your bed. Enjoy. What can I say? Sorry, everybody. Today is a bit more chaotic stream compared to how we usually do it. Usually we have a lot of topics, but today we're very emotional and angry. This was one of the most infuriating videos. This is our parliament. After they voted on this bill that has led to everything that we're now seeing, the protests, right, the anger, the questions about our EU future, all of this. This is them right after they voted, right? No, this is before they voted. This is after Yulia Tymoshenko, our infamous former prime minister, and the woman who is just theft personified. After she gave a little speech about how they have to vote for this. This is her, this is Yulia Tymoshenko, the lady deaf. And after she gave her little speech, this is them clapping. Look how happy they are. They're cheering. They're going, woo! Let's dismantle the anti-corruption agencies. Oh my god, Yulia, lead the way. Tymoshenko-sama, please. Literally, oh my god, what happened? Okay, age happened, let's be fair, but that's Yulia Tymoshenko, everybody, one of our most notorious thieves in charge, who has a castle in England from all the money that she has stolen from us over the years. Just a fun fact. She has been stealing since before I was born. Another fun fact. And this is them clapping, because of course they were clapping. Oh wait, is this Lir? Yeah, this is the former volunteer, Yevhen Lir. You might remember, those of you who were with us earlier. He used to be the used cars for the military guy. We were participating in some of his fundraisers. Now he's currently in the army, and he is posting about, basically saying, the typical family in Ukraine. The wife, meaning his wife, is currently at the protests, and he is at the front. And this is his picture, and he is retweeting the picture that his wife posted from one of the protests. I think it's in Ternopil. She's in Ternopil, I think. Somewhere in the western regions. Oh, God. Yep, that's the Ukrainian family, everybody. A Ukrainian family. We got the MLK file, sugarcane cola, and AI Trump arresting Obama to distraction. The big guns, eh? AI Trump arresting Obama. For what? Existing? He will never forgive Obama for being as charismatic and popular and smart as he was, and also being the first African-American president. Right? It's this... The hatred runs deep. Wow. They will never forgive him for that, huh? Yeah, all of this is one huge deflection. In your opinion, how will this war end? How much territory is Ukraine going to lose? I think we talked about this before. I am currently thinking that it's going to be at the current rate at the Dnipro River. it makes sense because it's the natural border, right? So it's the river. It's much harder to cross than the field. And yeah, but the front continues to crumble. This is what we're going to be looking at, unfortunately. Hopefully it's not going to happen, but based on what we're seeing, we already have parts of Dnipropetrovsk Oblast, which are a gray zone. There are advancements there. Yeah, I don't know. And with all of this on top. Okay, so this is Bihus. This is one of the Ukrainian anti-corruption journalists, investigative journalists. Denis Bihus, he is also there in Kiev, saying that there is no more space at the square where everyone is protesting. He also says there is no internet. This is interesting. But according to him, it's because of how many people there are, and basically that everything is overloaded. The mobile network is overloaded. And that's why people cannot post things. But this is suspicious. This is very suspicious, if you ask me, that people just simply cannot post stuff. Okay. Kharkiv continues. Okay, this is from an hour ago, but still, this is more footage from Kharkiv protesting. It's so heartwarming seeing people from literal frontline areas so close to the front under constant shelling still going out and about and protesting this nonsense. In my village, no one is protesting, but that's because it's mostly old people and the beavers, so that's we don't even have anywhere to protest. If Epstein are still alive today, Trump would make him vice president. No, but what about JD and the couch? No, come on, there's a line. Hi, Mickey, good to see you too. And Hillary, the arch nemesis, crooked Hillary. Oh, yeah, he's never letting that go either. I know. All of these tactics, right? All of these distractions. I think we'll understand what's happening, right? Okay, this is more footage from Kharkiv. This is Ariana Grande randomly. Okay. And in the meantime, Putin established a network of contacts in Germany, particularly to restart Nord Stream 2. Okay, of course. Yeah, this. I think we discussed this before. It's about one of the key figures is supposedly this social democrat from Germany, the former chairman of the Social Dems, who visited Moscow 9 times since 2022. So, yeah, this. I think we discussed this. Maybe not, but I have a feeling like we did. Because of course, they would love to bring it back. This is, by the way, by the most recent sanctions, the most recent EU package of sanctions that was approved last time when we were talking. Thank you, Anne. This is supposed to be, it was supposed to be like a final nail in the coffin of the Nord Stream 1 and 2. But try telling this to Putin. Okay, this is, where are we at? Let's see. Is this also Kharkiv? People are chanting, Russians are killing, and the government is finishing us off, basically. So, like, Russians are starting the killing, and then the government is finishing us off. Okay. Let's see, let me refresh this. Okay, it's gonna refresh by itself. People are finding their ancient memes with Zelensky. Oh my god. Again, everyone was really patient with him. Everyone was really quiet. Not anymore. Yeah. Yeah. And this is what he did. This is his own doing. Oh my god, is this Miranda Priestley? This is Meryl Streep as Miranda Priestley, everybody! Because they're making the new movie. It's probably gonna be bad, but it's still exciting to see her back. Okay. At least something. Maybe she will save us. Save us, Miranda Priestley. In the big year 2025. Okay. Shame on the Beavers. I know, Chelsea. Where's their political consciousness? right, let's see. I don't know. JD is going to Scotland. Oh my god. Can we give instructions to Nessie, to the Loch Ness monster, so that she would... No? Okay. Is this a controversial take? Since 2020! Wow! That's a long time ago. Oh my god. This is like my first posts, right? Thank you for staying with me throughout all of the posting about the war. I appreciate it. Yeah, they have really demonized all of these people, but in particular Hillary and Obama, right? It's been their main obsession for the longest. You can say Bober or you can say Bobber. That's beaver, everybody. Either Bober or Bobber. I like Bobber, similar to Polish. Bobber kurwa. All right. Yeah, this is also one of the reasons why so many people have been covering these protests, including myself, and including all of the journalists and all of the politicians and activists, especially in English, is to show that we are still a democracy, right? So all of the talks, all of the Marjorie Taylor Greens of the world yelling about, us being a whatever totalitarian crap hole, right? All of the rhetoric, you've already heard that before. I think these protests go directly against this rhetoric. So one good thing about all of this is that we still have very active civil society. We still have a lot of very outspoken people, and that I've already told you that this is one of my main anxieties, because I keep going back to 2014 and I keep going back to what's been done, but the reason why the situation escalated the way it did back in 2014, late 2013, 2014, is because the government started suppressing the protests very, very violently. Currently, the protests are still ongoing. We're not seeing any attempts to do anything about the protesters, although there have been all of these talks about the secret services, of course, keeping an eye out on the situation. But so far, so good. So what we're seeing right now could be used as a testimony to us, to the people showing up, and us still showing that we are capable of change, hopefully, and pushing back against the government being stupid. And unlawful and undemocratic and corruption is a plague, everybody. I've already told you that how I feel about this, that this is Russia from within, that this is cancer, that this is plague on all of our houses. This is Kremenchuk, and this lady is wearing a shirt that says Donetsk region, and it says the sun of Ukraine rises in Donbass, and she's pregnant, and on her belly there's a sign that says, I'm not even born yet and I have to protest. Okay, I think this sign has won. We have seen a lot of great signs from the protests in Ukraine today, but this one is this is a winner. We've got a winner, everybody. Ще не народився, а вже маю протестувати, says the sign. This, together with the Donetsk t-shirt, just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss, everybody. Yeah, this is Kremenchuk being out and about. Couple people, not a lot of people, but still, okay. This is Svetlana Povalyeva. She's a mother of 2 sons who were killed at this war defending our country, and she's also a poet, and she also wrote a very, very strong worded statement, basically an ultimatum to the government. And one of the things that she said was, so the gist of her statement was basically that, do you think our parents, the parents who have lost their children, the parents who have lost the dearest thing in their life, do you think they have anything to lose yet? She's asking the government, right? The parents of those children who were killed by the Russians, they have nothing to lose, right? No one is gonna compromise, no one is gonna mince the words. So yeah, what are you even thinking about? And yeah, this is a very light-hearted translation. The way she put it, it was much, much stronger. One of the phrases that she wrote really stuck with me. It's the "you have never died together with your child," which is, I think, the sentiment that is very commonly shared by all of the parents who have lost their children in this war. You do not know that you cannot frighten someone who's already dead. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. Are we still protesting? Is it still happening? Oh, Zhytomyr is also... there were a lot of Labubu jokes, everybody, which is because a lot of the people protesting are kids. So here is "do not touch our Nabubu," as Nabu is the, as we've already said, as we've already talked, is the name of the anti-corruption agency. And yeah, this is a reference, a pop culture reference. I've also seen one that says Zilibubu about Zelensky. This was the wordplay because his last name is Zelensky, and Labubu, Zilibubu. Okay, this is also pretty good. This is a pretty good one. And are you seeing this, everybody? Thank you, Adel, thank you. Are you seeing this? We do not have any air raid alerts because, again, as we have already discussed, the Russians like what's happening very much also, and they're just waiting for our government to do more. Thank you. More missteps. Everything is quiet. Everything is as quiet as it can be. I don't think I have seen our skies being as quiet as right now. Wow. This is such a situation that we have got, such a pickle that we have gotten ourselves into, and our government has gotten us into. Wow, it's insane. But what else do you do? What else do you do when stuff like this is happening? It's just, you cannot stay silent. out of respect. Now we have the bloggers showing up too. This is, I think, one of our most famous Ukrainian-speaking bloggers, Igor Lachin. Is it him? Yeah, I think it's him. Also showing up in Kiev. Also, yesterday, Klitschko brothers also showed up. But yeah, they were not met with great joy and pleasure because everybody knows that the mayor of Kiev, Klitschko, he's just as corrupt as the rest of our government. And there were a lot of very unhappy posts about them showing up, but yeah, they tried to. Also, there was a call from some of the protesters and the veterans in particular to not politicize this, to not make it some sort of, political performance for our parties, and just to show that this is the mood of the people. This is not the political performance for one of our equally corrupt players. Which I know it sounds weird, right? It sounds kind of counterproductive. It sounds like an oxymoron. Do not politicize the process. But you know what I mean. Okay, couple thousand people in Kiev protesting still at this very moment. Okay, everybody. Yeah, I think this is pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, I heard about these people. I think the dad was already killed. I haven't checked because it was basically what I saw was someone claiming that there's already drone footage of him getting droned. I didn't want to look at it because I try to avoid stuff like this, but we'll see. It could have been fake because we already had stuff like this announced before. We already had several instances of all of these controversial, mainly Americans, moving to Russia and then getting enrolled with the Russian army. And then there were all of these talks. Oh, there's already footage of them getting droned. And yeah, sometimes it was true and sometimes it wasn't. With this particular case, I haven't checked. But yeah, the story was crazy. The story was absolutely, but then again, when you remember who we're talking about, that this is the, MAGA conservative people, then maybe it's not as crazy as it seems, because, and I say conservative, yeah, it's, I use this word very, very loosely. I don't know who they are, really. Confused, I guess, and not very smart. All right. Yeah, I think this is the footage that we have already seen, I believe. How cute is this? The Crocs that say Hanьба. Shame, right? This is one of our main slogans whenever there are any demonstrations or protests in Ukraine. This is what people like to chant. Hanьба, Hanьba. This is one of the most common. If you look at any footage of Ukrainian protests, eventually you will hear this word. And this is someone wearing very stylish protest Crocs that say Hanьба. So we already had the Nabubu, and now we have the Hanьba Crocs. I love these people so much. They never disappoint me. Okay, yeah, this is one of my. It's my Polish news guy that I just get to receive, like, the main stuff that's happening in Poland. But he is also pointing out that during the ongoing third round of the Russia-Ukraine peace talks, they have apparently agreed on the prisoner exchange. So, okay, good. What we were just talking about, that this could be the biggest thing we could hope for, that perhaps they would agree on the prisoner exchange, but... Okay, we have an update. So the anti-corruption agencies have received the initiative of Zelensky, that thing that he offered, his proposal regarding preparing the document. No, basically, they received his proposal regarding the changes and the updates to the anti-corruption agency's work, and they have added that they are ready to start the conversation, basically. Okay, so the government sent the proposal to the agencies. The agencies said, okay, let's talk. I guess that's something. That's good. He is also claiming that he has heard the people. Wait, has he recorded his little thingy? Let's see. Aha! You did, huh? And with English subtitles. How convenient for us. Okay. Have you talked about the most important thing? I'm not listening to all this. Okay, many meetings, government officials, representatives of law enforcement agencies, with a very detailed conversation involving Security Service, the National Anti-Corruption Bureau, Specialized Anti-Corruption Prosecutor's Office, the Ministry of Internal Affairs. Okay, a lot of people were talking. It was important to me that each of them share their arguments. It was important that they tell each other, who is writing this? Why is it written so poorly? Who... Oh, okay, no. It was important that they tell each other what had long been building up. What? Is it Google Translate? What are you saying? I really value the agreement to work as a team and to implement measures that can truly create a sense of unavoidable accountability and therefore justice in Ukraine. Okay, at least you know how to use the comas. That's a good thing. We agreed that the heads of these institutions will jointly propose an action plan, a plan of concrete steps that can strengthen the rule of law in Ukraine. Of course, everyone has heard what people are saying these days. You say, really? You think, baby? You think everyone has heard what people are saying? What they're saying on social media. They're saying this in front of your house to each other on the streets. It's not falling on deaf ears. Okay, we've analyzed all the concerns, all the aspects of what needs to be changed and what needs to be stepped up. Who is writing this for you? Well, you cannot get a native speaker, someone with at least C1. This is what B1, B2 English. Okay, no, not now. I will propose a bill to the Parliament of Ukraine that will be the response. It will ensure the strength of the rule of law system, and there will be no Russian. Okay, this is what we've already heard. Okay, it's all the same. Okay, it's good that they're talking, I guess. It's really hard to be optimistic. I'm going to be very honest with you guys. It's really hard to be optimistic. And it's really hard to trust anything coming out of these people's mouth. But okay, hopefully it's something. Hopefully it's progress. There's more images from Lviv. Independence for the anti-corruption agencies. And veto of the bill. Okay. I'll see you next time. I'll catch you later. Thank you for being here. We have Brexit Greens with 1% of their batteries. All right, everybody. I guess we have something, huh? We have some resolution, in a way, maybe. So, by the looks of it, the people are still out there, but I don't think they're gonna be out there for another baby. We have another baby. This is from yesterday. There were many babies at the protests. We already had unborn babies, we have born babies, we have all kinds of babies. Yeah, okay, a lot of people. Honestly, if you wanted my reaction to this, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I do not believe it. I'm extremely skeptical, and I'm worried that it's just a whole bunch of nothing, and that it's not gonna lead to anything of actual significance. So, if you would like my opinion on his so-called proposal, and we're gonna talk. Why? What are you going to talk about? Why try and fix something that was not broken in the first place? What is it? It just looks like it looks like cheap damage control. Maybe I'm too cynical regarding this government, but it looks and sounds like a bunch of damage control, everybody. So yeah, babies protesting. I know. Hi, thank you, dear. I know. Yeah, that translation of his post was awful. It was terrible. It was so poorly phrased and poorly worded. Wow. You can tell that someone was really in a rush to type it aloud. I think even if they let the AI do this, would have been much better. AI would have done a much better job. This doesn't sound like AI. It sounds like someone who was in a great rush and doesn't really speak English very well. Okay, everybody. I guess, yeah, this is for. We're not gonna get any more updates for today. So, of course, we already had the warning from our intelligence, from GUR, saying that Russia can use these protests in their interest. You should have thought about this. The government should have thought about this before. This is not the people's responsibility to think about it. You should have thought about this. Everyone has stayed silent for too long already. These people should have been thinking about these clowns of death. Look at her. Oh my god. All of them. And we have an entire parliament of people who look exactly like her. They're just, different genders or whatever. Very angry. I'm angry. Alright, so for now, this is where we are. This is where we are, everybody. Is it good? No, it's not looking good. Is it something? I guess. At least they're not ignoring us, so cool, perhaps. But no, it's really hard to stay optimistic. Even with all of this, it's good that we still have protests and we still have people in the streets, but no, I'm still predominantly disheartened by the very fact that it has to be done during the full-scale war. I forgot the tea. I know, right? It is an absolutely wild take on protest. And we have had a lot of those takes, and yeah, it doesn't make things any better or any easier, so especially with everything happening. It gets to a point when it's literally the boy who cried wolves. And it sucks that it's this way, knowing what we're going through, but if you continue to blame everything, any criticism, any movement within the civil society, any protest movement, any criticism from the people, if you continue to paint this as Russian agents, Russian influence, everybody, people will stop believing the cases of actual Russian influence. And do we have a lot of Russian influence in the parliament. half of those people are directly connected to the Kremlin. Half of the people who voted on this nonsense. And half is just me being optimistic. The entirety of Medvedchuk's party, which is a pro-Russian party, they're all sitting there, still in the parliament, voting for this nonsense. Together with Zelensky's party. By the way, shout out to the people from the Zelensky's party who didn't vote for this, because there were some who were like, no, we're not voting for that. I guess they want to keep their, the semblance of a career in the future. Sometimes it feels like this is done on purpose, that this is done on purpose to blur the lines. When you say, okay, this is Russian influence and that is Russian influence is behind you, Russian influence is everywhere, then people, they will grow skeptical and they will stop criticizing actual pro-Russian influence and actual openly pro-Russian people who were spitting pro-Russian rhetoric just a couple years ago and who only went silent because of the full-scale invasion. We have a lot of them. Very active. Oof. Okay, go away, Yulia Volodymyryvna. Okay, everybody. I'm just gonna refresh a couple more times. Also, if you have any questions or anything you would like to know, please let me know, because unfortunately I didn't have anything else prepared. I was so angry. I've been following all of this for 24 hours, probably more. And this is the only thing I could think about. But if there's anything else you would like to know, please let me know. No. Hey, that rhymes. It is probably important to point out that these are not anti-presidential protests. These are not anti-government protests. This is specifically anti this particular law protest. This is the protest against the dismantling of the anti-corruption institutions in Ukraine, right? Just a side note, everybody. A little side note. Yeah, let's wait. I guess it's not like there's anything else for us to do. Let's be real. Let's be real with ourselves for a second. We can only wait. We can wait, we can hope for the conversation to happen, and perhaps I don't know what. I feel like I'm in the end scene of the Titanic. Okay, no. What are we gonna wait? We're gonna wait for them to talk. We're gonna wait for them to communicate with each other. So the anti-corruption agencies will talk to the presidential office, hopefully trying to find the common ground. I don't know what it's going to look like. They will promise to stop any sort of investigations into the very special people. Then, you see, this also sucks if this is what they're going to be talking about, because then we're not solving the main issue, which is the corruption. This is the problem. This is the fundamental problem at the heart of it all, right? We're trying to fight the corruption. Okay. But I don't think there's anything else to do except for waiting and seeing what are they going to discuss, what is this conversation going to entail, and will there be any sort of conclusions. But in the meantime, I'm afraid the protests are going to continue. I don't think this will silence the protesters, because people are not buying it. The statements that they made, all of the damage control, them trying to put out these fires, it's not working. I can already see it. I can already see the reaction from the civil society and the journalists being like, nope, this is not working. This is not. This thing again. Okay, they've already finished the talks in Istanbul. Okay. And anything except for the prisoner exchange, which is good. Wait, let me see. They talked, Umerov gave a statement, we continue the process for the continuous peace, returning the kids. What have you agreed on? Okay. I don't understand. Anything except for the prisoner exchange. Thank you to the Turkey, thank you to Erdogan, thank you to Akifom, Chagataem. Okay, everyone. Thank you, everyone. I'm not saying what they agreed on. Okay, we'll discuss this next time then, when there is full briefing or something, because this is impossible. And the protests continue. Okay, this is this one basically says liquidate your ass. Like, yeah, people are very emotional, everybody, so people are very emotional. All right. Okay. I guess we will be wrapping this up because it's just so very sad and I don't think there's anything to add. I'm just gonna put up some of the imagery of the protest. Okay, I think this one was very good with the presidential building in the background. Unfortunately, this was predictable. This is the worst part about it. It wasn't just everything was going so well and then this one thing happened. What are we gonna do now? No, I'm afraid not. Thank you, Paul. The earrings, by the way, yeah, it's the leaves. It's the leaves, everybody. Leafy as in the leaves, not that annoying YouTuber person from 2017. The leaves. Be a leaf. And the octopus is also in the building. And so is Aragorn. So, the gang. My only friends. My accessories and people on my t-shirts. Alright. Alright, everybody. Let's see. The main... I don't even know how to classify this, but it's basically the main issue is that the society here decided that we have agreed upon, building a new and better country, and a significant chunk of our officials were like, nope, we're going to continue doing things the way we did before 2022. And this is the main issue, pretty much. It's mainly the bribes, I think, that everyone usually talks about. It's the lack of the reform within the courts, the court system, something that I always talk about, and something that had to be fixed, of course, if we would like to be in the EU one day. So, yeah, but also there are layers to this, because it goes so deep and it's intertwined with the criminal world and with the Kremlin, of course, because the main tool of influence of the Kremlin in Ukraine, it's the corruption. It's all of these connections, the underground connections. Layers and layers on layers. I will be recording the video. To those of you who are on Patreon, I will be posting this in a couple of days. The detailed, more in-depth, annoying, insufferable version of it all. But yeah, it is what it is. Okay, so for now we're here, looking at the image of the protests in front of the presidential office in the big year 2025. Oh my God. Didn't think it would come down to this, but it did. So, all right, I will be wrapping it up, everybody. This was just a review in real time of what is happening, all of the protests regarding the our government's actions to strip the anti-corruption agencies in Ukraine of independence and agency. Agents of agency, huh? That's what a pun. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. It was I think a strange type of live stream. Not the same one as always, but it happens. Thank you, as always, for watching. Thank you for being here. To those of you who haven't watched the Borscht video, please go watch it. Hopefully it will lift up your mood if you have been feeling down or the news made you sad. I tried to be funny in that one. Let me know what you think. I will be answering to all the comments, everybody, on that video. So if there's anything you would like to let me know, please do. It's on YouTube, by the way. The video is on YouTube. So yeah, thank you. as always, have a wonderful evening, everybody. Hopefully I will see you Friday, but I will let you know. I will let you know on Instagram, because we've been having really patchy internet and rolling blackouts, and yeah, the situation has been very, very unstable and slightly unnerving regarding that. So please wait for my announcement on Instagram, all right? I will see you all. Thank you. It was a pleasure seeing you all. Beats are healthy and important. So yeah, take care. Have a wonderful time of the day wherever you are, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, TikTok. Bye-bye. Okay, I said bye to TikTok. And thank you, YouTube, as well. Now we're saying goodbye to you. Sorry once again for things being emotional and only regarding the protests, but you know, extraordinary circumstances, if you wish. Anyway, take care, and I will see you all next time too. Okay? Mwah. Hopefully next time it will load faster than today. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye. Thank you.